Did you know that nearly 1 in 5 UK seniors could lose access to essential benefits in 2025? And that's just the beginning. The UK government is quietly rolling out new laws and policy changes that might seem minor on the surface, but could drastically shake up life for millions of elderly citizens. From hidden cuts in your pension to reforms that could delay your healthcare appointments by months, the landscape is shifting faster than most people realise. And here's the kicker. Many of these changes aren't being clearly explained. They're buried in reports, tucked away in policy proposals, or announced with fancy wording that hides the real-world impact. So if you're retired, close to retirement, or simply care about someone who is, this isn't just news, it's a wake-up call. In this video, we're breaking down 10 major legal changes coming in 2025 that could hit UK seniors where it hurts most: their wallets, their health, and their independence. And some of these might already be affecting you without you even realizing it. Stay tuned, because knowing what's coming might be the only way to protect what you've worked your whole life for. Number 1. Increased retirement age. Imagine working your whole life, planning your retirement at 66, only to find out, months before, that the government has pushed the retirement age again. That's exactly what's unfolding. The UK is preparing to raise the state pension age to 67 by 2026. And there's growing speculation that it could increase to 68 or even 69 in the years following. The government claims it's due to longer life expectancy and rising national debt. But for millions of seniors, it feels like a betrayal. For many, especially those in manual labour or with chronic health conditions, even one extra year of work feels unbearable. Retirement isn't just about stopping work, it's about reclaiming your health, your time, and your peace of mind. Here's what makes it worse. The goalposts keep moving. You might have spent decades planning for a certain retirement date, and now you're told to wait longer for the pension you've already earned. Studies from the Institute for Fiscal Studies show that later retirement leads to higher stress, more physical health issues, and reduced quality of life, especially for lower-income seniors. So what can you do? Start by checking your official pension age using the government calculator. Then, look into private pensions or ISAs. That might allow you to retire earlier than the state age. Because let's be honest, the government may not be looking out for you, but you can still take control of your own timeline. And remember, this is just the first change. The next one could hit even closer to home. Number 2. Cuts to state pension triple lock. For years, the triple lock has been a lifeline for UK pensioners. It guaranteed that your state pension would rise each year by whichever is highest: inflation, average earnings, or 2.5%. But that promise is now hanging by a thread. In 2025, there's mounting pressure on the government to review or even suspend the triple lock once again. After all, with inflation spiking and wages fluctuating, the system has become more expensive for the Treasury to maintain. But for seniors, it's not a luxury. It's the difference between heating your home or skipping meals. What makes this worse is the uncertainty. One year it's protected. The next, it's frozen or tweaked. How can you plan your financial future when the rules keep changing? Experts warn that even a small adjustment to the triple lock could cost pensioners hundreds of pounds a year. For someone living on a fixed income, that's devastating. If you're relying solely on your state pension, now is the time to explore other income sources, whether it's part-time work, support grants, or additional private pensions. Don't wait for a policy update that may never come. And we want to hear from you. Do you think the triple lock should be protected, or is reform necessary? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice matters more than you think. Also, if you're finding this breakdown helpful, hit the like button and subscribe. We've got more critical updates coming that you won't want to miss. Number 3. NHS waiting list reforms. Let's talk about something that's quietly becoming a nightmare for many seniors: getting an actual appointment with the NHS. In 2025, new reforms aim to streamline the NHS system. That sounds good on paper. But in reality, it means longer waits, fewer face-to-face appointments, and a strong push towards digital-first consultations. Here's the catch: millions of elderly people in the UK aren't tech-savvy. Many don't have smartphones, fast Wi-Fi, or the confidence to navigate complex health apps. So what happens when your GP tells you your next appointment is via video chat and you can't even open the app? According to Age UK, over 40% of people over 75 don't use the internet regularly. That's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Delays in diagnosis or treatment can escalate minor health issues into serious conditions, especially when you're older. And the pressure on the NHS means that even when you do get an appointment, it might be weeks or months down the line. That's not care, that's survival of the fittest. These reforms are supposed to make things more efficient. But who exactly are they efficient for? If you've noticed it's getting harder just to talk to a doctor, you're not imagining it. These changes are real, and they're accelerating. When basic healthcare becomes a digital maze, many seniors are left behind, not by accident, but by design. Number 4. Council tax bans reassessment. If you've lived in your home for decades, the last thing you expect is a sudden spike in your council tax bill. But in 2025, a national reassessment of council tax bans could do exactly that, especially for elderly homeowners. Here's what's happening. Local councils are under financial pressure, and many are pushing for a complete revaluation of properties across England and Wales. This means your home, which was banded in the 1990s when prices were lower, could suddenly be reclassified into a higher band, even if nothing about your home has changed. For seniors on a fixed income, this change is more than just frustrating. It's financially dangerous. An increase of even one band could mean hundreds of pounds extra each year. That's money that could have gone to heating, groceries, or medication. The process isn't transparent either. Most people won't know their property is being reassessed until they receive the new bill, and by then, the damage is done. But there's something you can do. If your home's band is changed, you have the right to challenge and appeal the reassessment. Keep documentation, gather local property comparisons, and act quickly. Many appeals succeed, but only if done within a tight time frame. It's also wise to check your current banding online. You might already be overpaying. A quiet reassessment might not sound alarming, but for seniors trying to age in place, this could be the financial curveball that forces them out of the home they love. And that's not just unfair, it's cruel. Number 5. Energy subsidy changes. You've felt it already. Energy prices skyrocketing over the last 2 years. But what's coming in 2025 could make things even worse for UK seniors. The government is reviewing winter fuel payments and the Warm Home Discount Scheme, two vital lifelines that help elderly people survive the colder months. There's talk of tightening eligibility, reducing payment amounts, or even scrapping these supports altogether for certain income brackets. For someone living on a basic pension, these subsidies aren't optional. They're essential. Without them, many will be forced to make impossible choices. Do you heat your home or buy your medication? According to the Office for National Statistics, excess winter deaths among the elderly spike dramatically when heating becomes unaffordable. This isn't just a cost issue, it's a matter of survival. To make things worse, energy companies are shifting toward more complex tariffs and online-only discounts. That's a major barrier for seniors who aren't comfortable managing bills digitally. The result? They pay more while receiving less support. So what can you do? First, check if you're still eligible for current subsidies. Then explore charitable grants and energy-saving schemes in your area. Some local councils and NGOs offer support that isn't widely advertised. And don't wait until winter hits. Apply early and get advice now, while help is still available. These energy subsidy changes may sound like numbers in a report, but for thousands of seniors, they could mean cold homes, worsening health and isolation. It's not just unfair, it's dangerous. And unless you prepare, it might catch you off guard. Number 6. Bus pass and travel benefit limitations. For many seniors, the free bus pass isn't just a convenience. It's a symbol of independence. It means being able to visit family, attend medical appointments, or simply get out of the house without relying on others. But in 2025, changes are on the horizon that could strip this freedom away from thousands. Some councils are proposing restrictions on when free bus passes can be used, limiting them to off-peak hours only, or excluding certain routes altogether. Others are discussing means testing, which would tie eligibility to income. cutting off access for seniors who may just barely exceed a threshold. These changes are happening quietly. No big announcements, just gradual policy shifts buried in local budgets and transport reviews. But the effect? Profound. Social isolation is already a crisis among older adults. Reducing their ability to move freely only makes it worse. A study from the Campaign to End Loneliness found that mobility is one of the strongest predictors of mental well-being in older age. And it's not just about seeing friends, it's about maintaining control over your life. If these changes take hold in your area, look into community transport schemes, travel vouchers, and other forms of support. Some local charities even provide free or low-cost rides for seniors who've lost their benefits. Because when transportation becomes a barrier, even simple daily tasks like grocery shopping or attending a doctor's appointment can start to feel like impossible challenges. Losing a bus pass might seem small on paper, but for many seniors, it's the first domino in a much bigger problem. Number 7. New property inheritance tax rules. You've spent your life paying off your home, hoping to leave something meaningful behind for your children or grandchildren. But under new proposed inheritance tax changes, passing down property might soon come with a heavy financial penalty. In 2025, the government is considering adjustments to inheritance tax thresholds and relief structures, particularly around property assets. The current threshold sits at £325,000 to £500,000 if your home is included. But rising house prices mean that more ordinary families are being dragged into the tax net, often without realizing it. What's changing? There's talk of freezing or even reducing the nil rate band, which hasn't kept up with property values. This could mean your family pays 40% tax on anything above the limit, even if your home is modest by today's standards. And if you plan to downsize, transfer ownership early, or place your home in trust, new anti-avoidance rules could block those moves too. This isn't just a rich person's problem, it's a middle-class family problem. And for many seniors, it feels like being punished for trying to build generational security. What can you do? Start by getting a proper valuation of your property. Then speak with a financial advisor or estate planner, because the wrong decision could cost your family tens of thousands. Planning ahead isn't just smart, it's essential. Because while the headlines might focus on billionaires and loopholes, the real pain of inheritance tax is felt by everyday people. People like you, who worked hard, saved wisely, and just wanted to leave something behind. Number 8. Reduced access to social care. Social care is the silent backbone of elder support in the UK. It's the person who helps you dress in the morning, the carer who checks in at night, the service that lets you live independently just a little bit longer. But in 2025, access to these vital services is expected to shrink, and fast. Years of underfunding have already pushed local authorities to the brink. Now, with inflation and rising demand, councils are being forced to tighten eligibility criteria even further. That means fewer home visits, longer waits for assessments, and in some cases, services being cut entirely. The worst part? These cuts often hit the people who need support most, those living alone, with mobility issues, or without family nearby. A recent report by the King's Fund found that more than 1.6 million older adults in England are already going without the care they need. And the number is rising. The burden is quietly shifting to unpaid carers, family members, neighbours, friends, many of whom are juggling jobs and health issues themselves. It's not sustainable, it's not fair. So what can you do? Don't wait until a crisis hits. Reach out to your local adult social services and get assessed early. Keep records, get your needs documented. And if you're caring for someone, look into respite options and carers' allowances. Social care should be a right, not a privilege. But the way things are going, it's turning into a luxury. And unless we act early, the safety net might not be there when it's needed most. Number 9. Banking and cashless transition. The world is moving toward a cashless future, but not everyone is ready for it. And for many UK seniors, it feels like the financial system is shutting them out, one bank branch at a time. In 2025, the pace of bank closures is expected to increase. High street branches are disappearing, ATMs are being removed, and in-person services are being replaced by apps and chatbots. For younger people, it's a mild inconvenience. For older adults who rely on cash or face-to-face service, it's a complete disruption of daily life. Many seniors don't use smartphones, others don't trust online banking, and rightly so, fraud targeting elderly people is at an all-time high. And when there's no branch to walk into, resolving issues becomes a frustrating maze of automated menus and long wait times. According to Which, over 5,600 UK bank branches have closed since 2015, and the rate is accelerating. These closures leave behind banking deserts, where vulnerable populations, especially seniors, are forced to travel miles just to deposit a cheque or get cash. So what can be done? First, see if your area qualifies for shared banking hubs, new community-based spaces offering basic services. Post office banking is another option, though services are limited. And don't be afraid to demand alternatives from your MP or local council. Cash may be going out of fashion, but it's still survival currency for many older adults. And if we don't speak up now, a whole generation could be left behind in a system they helped build. Number 10. Increased prescription costs. For many seniors, prescription medication isn't optional, it's part of survival. Whether it's for blood pressure, diabetes, or arthritis, these daily doses keep people functioning, mobile, and alive. But in 2025, even this basic right is under threat. The government is currently reviewing eligibility for free prescriptions in England, with proposals suggesting the age limit could be raised from 60 to 66 to align with the state pension age. That may sound like a technical adjustment, but for someone managing multiple chronic conditions, it's a sudden hit to the wallet. According to Age UK, the average older adult takes between 5 to 7 prescription medications per day. That could mean dozens of pounds each month, just to maintain basic health. For people living on the state pension, this is not sustainable. And it's not just about money. When costs go up, some people start skipping doses, halving tablets, or not collecting prescriptions at all. That leads to worse health, more hospital visits, and ironically, more cost to the NHS. If you're worried about this, check whether you qualify for a prepayment certificate, which caps prescription costs at a flat rate. There are also exemptions based on income, specific illnesses, and pension credit status. This policy change might seem minor from the outside, but it touches the core of what healthcare is supposed to be: accessible, fair, and universal. Forcing older people to choose between food, heat, and their health is a policy failure, not a budget fix. Because when medication becomes a luxury, we've lost sight of what truly matters. These changes aren't just policy tweaks, they're personal. If any of this hits close to home, tell us your story in the comments. We read every one. And if you found this helpful, watch our last video. It breaks down even more hidden risks affecting UK seniors. We put real time and research into every upload, so if you want to support us, subscribe to the channel. It's just one click, but it means the world. Together, let's stay informed, stay prepared, and make sure no one gets left behind.